We've got sublimation
We'll
papers.
argue about that off air. Right, so welcome to live shopping. It's Friday.
Friday.
And we've got 2 hours together, haven't we?
Yeah, do you know what that means? Tomorrow's Saturday, it's the weekend, and we've got shows tomorrow too.
We do, or 5 of them. And then you're going to Turkey the day after.
Turkey.
I know, I was telling them all about what you're going to be up to.
Don't share the secrets. All classified, Mel. Tip-top secrets there.
You don't have any secrets in this place because Stephanie's in it.
Well, this is true.
Right.
I can remember when I can remember at the NEC and someone walked past me and said, "Oh, you're not getting your hair cut." And Stephanie had said on one of the shows, "Oh, David's got to leave early because he's having his hair cut." And Carl went, "How many people know about you and this flipping haircut?" I went, "I don't know. I've not told anyone other than Stephanie." He went, "Well, that's like telling the world."
Right. I love that. That's fabulous. Right, so live shopping, what's it all about? We've had new customers in the last hour, David.
Ooh,
new
nice
people finding
one.
us for the first time, which is very exciting. So here at Highlight Crafts, we're a small family business based in Derbyshire, run by Stephanie and Carl. And there's about 29 of us. And we're not professional and we're not slick when it comes to live shopping, but we have a lot of fun. We're real and we're very, very interactive with you, which is great. So any questions, you can get them into us and we can respond straight away. If we don't know the answer, we'll go away, we'll find out and we'll come back to you on it. So it's a lovely place to be. We are live Monday to Friday from 8 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. On a Wednesday and Thursday, we also do, Monday to Thursday, we do 6 till 7 in the evening. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we also do an extra hour. We didn't do one last night because we just had a thing yesterday. But normally 7 till 8. And we bring you fabulous deals every day in all these shows, and you can literally shop while you watch. So instead of having to watch a demonstration, go away, go to the website, find the product, put the product in a basket, and then come back and you've missed half the demonstration. You can shop while you watch. And I love that, and it's brilliant. And our warehouse is literally next door. So the sooner you check out your items, the sooner our team pick and pack them, and they get sent out to you. So it's a fabulous way to shop. So you can watch us on YouTube. So if you don't like watching on a small phone or a tablet, you can put us on your TV, go onto YouTube, click on that, and then the shows will come up, Highlight Crafts, and the shows will come up, and you can press play. You can't shop on YouTube, but you can shop on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. And to do that, all you're going to do is we're going to show you a product, and that product will have a code. And all you need to do is type the word shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video, okay? And that's going to pop that product into a basket for you. I know, it's really clever, isn't it? I love that. Then we're going to send you a message which will go into your social media inbox or your DMs, I learned the other day.
Oh, yeah, your direct message.
Direct messages sliding into people's
or
DMs.
Or a PM.
Oh, what?
A PM.
What's that? Private message?
Or personal message.
Oh.
Or a personal massage.
Well, there's another story.
Sending us lots of PMs.
It's not the Prime Minister, we're
Oh,
all right.
no, thank you.
So you'll get a message that will land in there, wherever, and then you're going to click on that message, and inside there's a link. That link, when you click on that, is going to take you to highlightcrafts.com, where you're going to log into your account, and it's important that you have an account with us, because it automatically makes you a member of Club Highlight, which is free to join. And then you get extra discount, loyalty points on every pound that you spend, and on a basket spend over £35, free postage. So it's all the good stuff and none of the fees, which is great, right? If you want to shop with us directly on highlightcrafts.com, you can also do that. So click on Watch Live, press play, the video will start, and then you will see all the items in that show appear down the side of your screen. To select which ones you want, you literally click on them, and then they will appear into a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen. So when you're ready to check out, click on that shopping bag and that will take you through that login and checkout process. Okay, so super easy. Now you can also shop ahead. So if you're going out for the day and you're like, oh, I don't want to miss anything that's going on at Highlight today, you can go onto our website, highlightcrafts.com. There's a banner on the homepage that says Shop Today's Deals. Click on that and all the deals in all the shows will open up. And then you can select the ones that you want and check out. It's really clever, isn't it? Right, let me introduce you to the team today. We've got Sam on cameras. We've got Sophie on production.
Hiya.
And then we've got David demonstrating for you.
Good morning, all.
And you've got me as your host for the hour. And then it's us two back together the next hour as well.
It is indeed. And then I'm going to be back here at 1 o'clock with anything that's left.
Yeah, right, David. What have we got?
Okay, well, this is a bit exciting.
It is. I get adrenaline in my fingertips. Look at that.
Well, sublimation printing, when you first launched it here at Live Shopping, it was crazy bonkers. One of the busiest shows we've ever had.
It was the busiest one, I think.
It was just all brand new concept. And of course, loads of you did join us, and lots of you got the printer, lots of you got all of the substrates and the equipment to do it. But there was a fair few of you as well who said, I really love this, but unfortunately, I can't make that investment right now.
Absolutely.
I can't stretch to the printer, which is fine and completely understandable. It's like die cutting. Some of us haven't invested in our machines yet, and we're still using our traditional methods of crafting, which is fine. So we were looking for ways around this, and as we came together as a group said, well, pre-printed sublimation papers is the way to go, because to get sublimation designs you need a sublimation printer and sublimation ink. You can't put standard sublimation ink into a standard printer. It doesn't work. So that initial investment has to be made, and then once that's made, you've then got the printing process. But having pre-printed designs means that all that you need is the printed designs that we're going to send you in the post, and your surface to print on, and a press. That is it. So your flat iron, your polyester surface, because it's still the same process, so it has to still be a polyester finish, but these aren't just for fabric. These are going to still go into ceramics. They'll still go into wooden items. They will go onto all polyester surfaces that have been coated with the Sublavista sprays. So your MDF, if you've coated that with your sprays, you can use these on it as well.
Isn't that exciting?
They're 12 by 12 as well.
They are.
They're massive, and every single sheet comes with its own transfer paper, which is also heat resistant.
Brilliant.
They are a fabulous concept. Now, we've got them in 4 separate bundles for you, each consisting of 5 12 by 12s. We've got glitter, we've got lots of different patterns. We're going to take you through them, and we're going to demo these all the way through the shows as well to show you how they work and how easy they are to actually function. But it takes, again, just 40 to 60 seconds to transfer. And then this one here is one that I used this morning on the Scan and Cut. So it works on your Scan and Cut and with your dies.
How exciting is that?
I loved making this. I was so happy with it. I've done lots of testing with lots of different things this morning. I was trying all sorts, but I was super happy with this.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's incredible. And that means that you don't need the printer if you just want to buy the papers.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to make that investment into a sublimation printer, which is what, 400 and odd pounds, I think, then this is an alternative for you. Now, we're not saying that this is going to take away from the sublimation, because the sublimation printer, you can design all sorts of different things. You can design with this and then cut it out, but with the sublimation you can use things like Micro Studio and all that artwork that we bring you. So this is a different thing. You still need those prepared to print blanks or the sprays that we have on for you today, because the way that sublimation works is it works with a high polyester content. When that comes into contact with heat, it almost turns into a gas and it bonds to that surface. So there's no chance of it picking off. It is literally in that surface, whatever that surface may be. This is now an alternative for you. So instead of printing off your sheets, we've got them printed for you. You still need those prepared for print products or your sprays. You still need your heat tool or your dry iron, but this is another alternative for you as well. Or if you're never going to want to do sublimation with a big printer, then this is your option as well.
Absolutely. And also, if you want to try out sublimation, think, I want to have a go at it. It's all the rage. Everyone's raving about it. I'm not yet ready to make the leap into the printer. This is a great way to start.
Absolutely.
Because you can create masks. So say, for example, if you didn't have a Scan and Cut at home and you thought, well, I've got my die cutting machine and I've got some alphabet dies, you could cut out the alphabet, stencil spray them onto the top of here, and it will create a mask. And then obviously put them in the reverse, so you flipped them. And then when you put it down, all of the print will transfer to the fabric, but it'll mask off the areas that you've chosen not to come through. That is a really clever way of you actually then tricking the system into actually giving you the result that you wanted. So in the first bundle, this is this Galaxy collection is incredible. Look at these papers. Now, when you look at these again, they are slightly muted because when you sublimate them, they're much brighter.
Yes, they are.
So with sublimation printing process, the paper always looks slightly dull, but then the result is really striking. But look at these, these are like your New Year's Eve celebrating ones.
It's interesting, isn't it, that concept? Because when I'd never done sublimation before. Stephanie had done it for decades, and I didn't ask her many questions. I literally just did the basics of it. And the one thing that when it came out of the printer, I went, oh, that's not a very good print. And then I ironed it.
Yeah.
And it's it's the heat hitting with that polyester that then brings out the vibrancy of the colour. So don't be disappointed because they do look quite muted. They won't be like this when you've used them. They're fabulous. The very fact that I can die cut it out on my scan and cut is a game changer again.
It is.
And I think this is an absolutely fabulous opportunity for those of you that don't want to invest, to have these. If you do invest, obviously you've got control of your design artwork, but with this is clever. And for them to have the transfer sheet on the back is brilliant.
That changes the game because basically if you are going to use yours on your scan and cut, like let me just grab mine that I've done here for you so you can see it in action.
And so you're using the scan and cut. I thought, what's he doing
on
there?
I thought, you know what, it's not my usual tipple, but I thought I'll have a go at it, and it tasted quite good.
Did it?
Yeah, it did actually. I got a little bit obsessed. So what I've got here,
so it begins.
I've put this back on top of it, which is fine. I'm just going to remove that off of here. So as I cut my design out, I designed it on the scan and cut. I used the pre-installed imagery that's already on the software, and then I flipped the whole thing. So basically, you're reading it backwards at the moment, but then when I flipped it over to iron it on, it read correctly. Yep. So I grouped it all, then flipped it, and then I decided on a circle and centralised it and aligned it horizontally and vertically.
Did you? Did you have my voice in your head going, multiple select, everything on the map, align it centrally, vertically, centrally, horizontally, and group it together? I can hear it going, Mel's voice in my head going,
I was like, I've got my inner Mel telling me what to do here, because Mel was on air, so I thought, got to do this, got to go for it, and I loved it. It turned out really well. The actual leftover bit here, if you were to lay this flat onto, of course, your fabric and then use all the negative areas that came out of here and put them back in, you could do it so the whole thing prints and your reveal is white underneath, so you don't actually waste any. You're using the negative as well. So the process with this, and we're going to show you again, like I said, at demonstration, but the heat transfer, this actual transfer tape here, this big 12 by 12, that's heat resistant. So what you do is you lay it onto your fabric, okay? So your polyester surface, you'll lay it on like this, okay? Smooth it down. You still need to put your Teflon sheet over the top of it. You don't want this to have direct contact with your iron.
No, you don't.
And press it for, no, you definitely don't.
That would be a sticky mess.
It really would. And you want to do it for about 40 to 60 seconds, depending on, of course, how big your press is. If you've got the smaller one that we've got today, you just gently move it around until you've completed the process. And then you'll just peel that away. It'll all come together. Because my initial thought was, well, how does the transfer tape work? Because the paper isn't sticky.
No.
So my initial thought process was, right, okay, I'll lay it down like that, smooth it down and peel the transfer away, and the paper will stay. But of course it won't, because it's paper. So they made it so this is heat resistant.
Clever.
And then that gives you your result with all of that on there.
Fantastic.
There's some areas here where I may have needed to leave my press on a bit longer, but I love the gradient that I've got on there. I think it looks really nice.
Really clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's go through the papers and then everyone can see the designs and what you're actually getting, because that's important, isn't it?
It is.
But the fact that you can use your dies with it, so you could have flurry, you could just, I mean, it's just magic, isn't it?
It is. It's a crazy process. I absolutely love this. Oh, that's one of my demos. Yeah, I've cut into that one. There we go.
Okay.
Put that there. There we go. So,
scan and cutting.
No, sorry, if you want to join me for the scan and cut shows, Tuesday, 8,
we've got
12
one
and
next
6.
hour. Go ahead.
Oh, that might be an interesting move.
I'm going to show you how to faux stitch.
Hope it's not a faux pas. Sorry. Okay. So.
That one. Yeah, you'll get this. When me and David work together, to try and keep us apart quite a bit, but when we get together...
But they find it impossible to do because there's no one else.
So how many presenters have you got? Well, me and David this week.
That's it.
Oh, you should see the rota for next week when you're not here.
Good grief. Mel.
Yes, good grief. It's brilliant though. I love it.
Absolutely. So in your first set, this is your Galaxy collection. You've got the wonderful, almost like glitter surface. It's super sparkly. But again, cut into these, create fabulous designs, whether it's floral, script, whether it's going to be sentiments, names. Personalisation is key with something like this. And you're going to get 5 12 by 12s in each bundle. That's your first one. That's your Galaxy collection.
Okay. Shop Galaxy, $29.99. We'll get you those.
We've then got your Universe collection. Okay, they're all the same price, but in here you've got your wonderful lilacs and purples and blues. This one here, again, remember when you actually sublimate these, the colours are going to be stronger.
Oh, yes, they are.
You'll see that at demo.
I like this collection.
Oh, they're just wonderful. I love as well that the patterns, the prints of them, aren't a design that I'm afraid to cut into.
No.
Sometimes with my rice papers, I'm worried that I'm going to waste a section and I'm going to utilise one area of the paper and I've got 2/3 of it not being used. With this, you can use every square millimetre of it because you can pick it all out.
I've just had a thought.
Uh-huh.
If you used that and created all your shapes, etc., and did them on say a bag or a whatever piece of fabric, you could then put your rice paper over the top.
Yeah, you could.
So you could combine the two together.
Yeah, you could put your absolutely you
Couldn't
could.
you?
Yeah, you could. That would look great.
That'd be really cool.
Definitely need to give that a go.
Right, so that one is Shop Universe.
It is indeed.
Love the universe. Then we've got Shop Royal.
Okay. So in here you've got some imagery included with your prints. You've got the repeating hearts, which looks gorgeous. You've got this pattern as well, which I find really interesting. A little bit different, very much surface pattern design. You've got your leopard print here with the pink in as well. You've got this, which I think would look gorgeous as vanity bag. You're making your own fabrics as well at the same time. But again, pick out the detail you want. But then you've got this.
It's a bit fancy, isn't
That's very fancy. When this is sublimated, it looks incredible. And I've actually die cut some of the most intricate dies I could find in the building with these papers, and I can't wait to show you what they're going to look like.
Brilliant. Right, so that's Shop Royal. And then this one is Shop Guild.
It is indeed. So Shop Guild, it's got all of the gilded gold finishes in here.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely pattern there for you. You've then also got this one with more texture on the surface. This one I thought was quite good for the Father's Day one.
Yeah,
it's a little bit masculine, that one. I quite like it. And then you've got this zebra print. Is it a zebra print? I think something like that. Or cheetah maybe, I don't know. Lovely print. And then you've got your gold hearts as well.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice, that one. And again, these are all going to be striking and strong on the surface.
They are indeed. Right, so you've got your codes for those. All you need to do is type shop and then that code into the comments and that will pop that in the basket for you. Right, next we've got Shop Photo. This is a lovely gift, isn't it?
It's amazing. What it is you basically, you print onto one side. So it has sticky back plastic on both sides. You peel both those protective layers off and you're going to iron onto the white side with, of course, your flat iron and your sublimation print. And then the image will be revealed through the front of it, okay? It comes through this side. When you take it off and think, oh, that's really faint,
yeah,
turn
I
it
did
round.
that with the glass and it was like, boom, in your face.
It looks amazing. That magnifies the image.
It does.
You've then got an LED strip that runs down just in that little channel there in the middle of this block of wood, which is lovely and fine and sanded back. And then the acrylic sits on top. You've got a USB power cord with a little click on and off. And the light, because it's resting on the bottom of that acrylic there, carries all the way through here and it will light up your photos.
You did one with Amber's dog on,
Snoop.
didn't you? Snoop,
Yeah, she's
the
got
other
her
day,
own
and it
little
looks really cool.
table lamp now, she has.
Fabulous. So, Shop Photo is going to get you that for $24.99. Right, magnets next. Now, how many have we got, Sophie? One? We've got one left. Okay, so if you want this, you're going to have to be quick. 4 fridge magnets, Shop Fridge, $9.99.
They're fabulous. They come with the magnet as well, that's self-adhesive that sticks to it after you've sublimated it. Peel the top coat off just before you do it as well, because you don't want that, it'll heat up. It always has a protective layer on the surface. It just is a film you peel off. But yeah, they're fabulous. Personalisation, gifts on the fridge, you know, or anywhere that's magnetised, you can put your own little personal touch.
Brilliant, right? Right, sunshades next. This is where the fun starts, isn't it?
This is where the sun starts. Oh, my suckers have fallen out. There we go. So, I've got 4 in total.
Oh, David.
And then you get 2 of these. Would you like one, Mel?
Yes, please.
Oh, they've been put together.
That reminds me of, Melanie Words, Pretty Woman. You know, when he takes her out for dinner, the business dinner, and she's trying to eat the snails, and it does that, and she goes, slippery little suckers.
Slippery little
I love that film. Stephanie and I and Hannah watched it the other night. We were howling laughing. It's brilliant. These are sunshades for your car.
They're so good.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
You imagine being able to print off your child's, I don't know, face, artwork, whatever it is.
Yeah, sure.
And then be able to put them literally onto these. I think it's super, super, super cool. Bespoke sunscreens.
It could have the names on it. It could have everything on there. It could have the maybe, of course, you use the sunscreens on with the grandchildren when you're taking them away for the weekend. It could have a big family photo on it as well. It could have their favorite images on there. Maybe any of your Minecraft Studio designs, whatever you're working with. As long as you're working with the licensed artwork and you have the angel policy, you can still make to sell with all of these substrates today. Just make sure that artwork is of that case. But I think this is true personalisation for photos.
Yeah, and just a note on that, anything that comes, so you do everything out of Highlight Crafts, because what we do when we buy or we have artwork illustrated, we buy the correct commercial license, which means that we can sell it to you, but you can sell it to your customer as well. So that's really great. So rest assured, as long as it comes from Highlight Crafts, other companies will vary. Stuff on the internet, you need to check out if you're going to make and sell, that you've got the correct license for that. But anything that comes out of here.
I love that because there's so many things that I've bought in the past. Like I bought napkins where I wanted to, make some plates and thought, oh, I could sell some of these. I know people would love them, and I couldn't because the artwork I used it for myself at the time because I didn't actually know much about it, but you can't sell it. So the fact that all of the artwork that we have here with the angel polish, that's such a big difference.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, now then, I love this oven glove. I'm going to do one of these. So I'm going to have one for every day, and I'm going to have a Christmas one. Christmas oven glove. So again, these are what they call PP products. So they're prepared for print. So this side has that high polyester content. This is the side that you're going to print onto. I love this. This is it's really lovely. It's really comfortable as well.
Washable too.
Washable too. Because the way that sublimation works is it's different to what we've just been showing you next door. This is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
What sublimation does with that chemical reaction between the ink, the heat and the polyester, it bonds it to the fabric. So it goes into the actual fabric itself. It doesn't sit on top. It literally goes into those fibres. It's a really, really clever product, but it has to have that high polyester content. So next door, where we've just been doing those sheets, you can iron those onto all different fabrics. The fabrics for this one has to have a high polyester content, or you add it using the sprays. So it's a completely different concept. And the two together, you're getting different looks and feels as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So shop glove will get you that for $17.99. Now we've got some mouse mats for you. These are great gifts as well, aren't they?
Even if you don't, maybe who you're gifting for doesn't have a computer mouse, it doesn't matter. They're a great mat in general. They are lovely. Even a writing mat or to have on your desk, or you just want to, they're cleanable, so you can wipe them clean and stuff like that. But for 3 of them for $17.99 is a great price.
And if you have a look at this here, this is what we're talking about. So you can see now that ink is literally bonded into that fabric on the top of there. There's no edges. It doesn't work like that. It's a completely different process. But now to be able to get your papers and die cut them and personalise, it's just fabulous, isn't it? So you could do Grandad's mouse mat, couldn't you? Out of one of the papers and then sublimate it onto there with your dry iron or your heat press. Right, David, talk to me about these sprays, because these are interesting, aren't they?
They are indeed.
I don't know if we've got high quantities of this either. So what they do is they make them a batch at a time. So they make a batch, it sells through, then they make the next batch.
They do. That's the process for Sublimavista. And Sublimavista are a brand that we have now managed to get an official distributorship with as well, which is really exciting.
And we're the only one in the UK.
We are indeed, which makes a big difference. Okay, you'll see on even their website, Highlight Crafts is on there. So with Sublimavista, they actually generated and formulated these sprays so that you can then sublimate with your papers or pre-printed papers or papers you're printing at home onto almost any surface. That means glass, ceramics, wooden items, MDF can all become a sublimation surface. So you're creating prepared for print surfaces. Now the gloss one here, it's a clear gloss. You can spray it directly onto a wooden surface or a ceramic surface, and what that will do is give a gloss coating to it, but it also sprays polyester molecules. Now all of those molecules will dry within 5 minutes, but then you want to pop that surface into the oven to cure it 160 degrees for around about 20 minutes, okay? 15 to 20 minutes I think it is, double check. 15 to 20 minutes, yeah. And you don't want to leave it any longer than that, okay? And you want to let it cool down afterwards inside the oven so it cools at a nice slow rate. That heat process is really important. If you don't cure it in the oven, it won't bond properly. There's actually a chemical reaction that happens there. It's safe to go in your standard oven at home. Just pop it onto a baking tray and just ensure whatever surface it is you've put it onto is going to be okay within the oven at those temperatures. For example, MDF should never exceed, I think, 170, so 160 is fine for it. So you're good to go with that.
Brilliant on MDF, isn't it?
But yeah, it just gives you so many more options. I've got some MDF with me as well that we've sprayed with the white version of this, but you can also use the gloss. If you'd already got the white one, you can go underneath with the white and then the gloss on top, so it gives you a white enamel effect and the image is stronger. But sometimes, like for example, this image on a piece of wood, on a chopping board would look wonderful with the graining showing through, but a glossy finish. So it's entirely up to you which result you're going to go for. It covers 2 square metres, so a monumental amount of surface can be covered with this, and it's at a great price too.
Okay, shop gloss, $27.99 will get you that one. Now this one is shop spray. So what's this one? This is the ultraviolet defence.
It is indeed. So if you want to make your projects fully weatherproof in terms of being resistant against UV protection, okay, so what happens if you don't do a sublimated surface onto a piece of crockery or onto a plant pot or something like that, and you're going to put it out into the garden through time, if through exposure from the sun, it's going to fade. That's just natural with most prints, most colours, most designs. Some are stronger than others and some are more resilient, but in all effect, it will eventually fade. You'll probably find that with an image with a bit of black pigment in, that'll be left behind and it'll be almost a ghost image. What this does for you is it's like putting sun cream on it, basically. Yeah. It protects it from the sun, all of the UV rays. You do it through the process, of course, after you've oven cured it, so it can go on the top. And basically, that's going to give you the protection and everlasting finish if you're going to keep it out all year round.
Okay, so that is shop spray, and it's $24.99. And then we've got shop satin for this one, pass-through sublimation spray.
Yes, so this is your pass-through. So as we mentioned about our photo earlier here, when we had the sublimation prepared for print surface on the back and the image passes through the spray and you're going to see it on the front of the acrylic, that's what this spray here can do for you.
Right.
So if you've got a glass chopping board, or if you've got some glass coasters, or you've got some transparent heat resistant acrylic, you can spray it onto the back of here, and that there for you will then create that pass through. So you spray onto it, so this, say if my hand here is the surface of the glass, you spray on, and then that surface you will put your image facing onto and it will show through the glass.
Brilliant. Right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. 20% of shop satin is now allocated and in people's baskets. That's this one.
It's a brilliant product.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right, now then we've got some totes for you. Do you get 3 of them?
You get 3 in total. These are your polyesters. They're great quality. These are the ones I'm going to be using during the show. It's the one I also did use within that project here that I did this morning for you. And you can see how well they come out. They are wonderful.
You're well excited about that, aren't you?
Yeah, and then they're fully washable afterwards. So with a bag like this, they're incredibly strong. The seam isn't at the base, giving you an additional strength within the bag. They also have extra long handles on, which makes them great for us tallies as well, as is everybody else.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
I think they're fabulous.
I think they're fabulous too. Look at that.
And you keep in the shop like, oh, hello, spring.
Hello, spring.
Hello, spring. But it could be photos on here, anything at all. I just went with an initial design to show you how simple this actually is. But it could be your favourite shape. You could die cut a bunch of stars and hearts and put them on there. And I love that with this process, and along with the tote bags, because they're probably one of the most adaptable surfaces that we use every day without thinking about it, whether it's shopping, groceries, whether you're going to bring, your lunch to work in it, that kind of thing. It's something that you can actually enjoy crafting and then enjoy using.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
for me, that's a big difference. I love making my cards. I love making those elements because then someone else gets to enjoy them. But making something for yourself is a real different feeling, I think.
Yeah, it is.
And within craft as well, it gives you a lot of satisfaction. And I think we all need that sometimes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Right, so those are shop tote, and you'll get 3 of them for $17.99. Right, next we've got the heat press, David. And this is a fabulous tool. So we would recommend either a dry iron and on a hard surface or a proper heat press. So you get the little bag that comes with it, you get the correct electric, so this is UK only, and then you get your heat press itself and the little silicone tray that it stands onto. It gives you all your instructions on here as well, which I like.
Oh, it's super easy to use. It's got 3 heat settings. You can use it in Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. It's entirely up to you. You switch it on, hold the button to the level from 1 to 3, which you want, and it also has a memory function, so when you switch it back on, it'll go back to the last setting used.
Absolutely, and this will work perfectly on the transfer papers that we've just used as well.
They were fabulous.
So if you want something, a proper little heat press, then this might be for you. Now we've got some heat resistant. I won't say reactive. Resistant. Tape in there for you. So you're getting a roll of that. This is a one use, isn't it? Sorry, David.
It is, yeah, this is absolutely fine. So this here is your heat resistant tape. You use this to actually position your sublimation papers in place because of course they don't have adhesive on them. Now, all you need to do is put a small amount that's going to carry over the paper and to the surface you're going to be sublimating onto. And as Mel said, when you've done that first press and that initial iron, when you peel it off, that tape can then be disposed of because it actually loses a bit of its tack. It kind of evaporates through the heat process. Now, along with that, in the bundle, you're going to get the tape, the heat press, and something that's incredibly important.
Yes, absolutely.
You've got your Teflon sheet. Teflon sheet, you can cut this down to a smaller size if you wish to do so. I saw Stephanie had a thinner strip of hers, but I've actually cut mine directly in half. It's perfect for this process. What it does is it stops that direct contact of the press with your sublimation paper, and it stops it being scorched. And it also allows it to glide as well when you are moving it to the next space. You also want to make sure that even if, for example, your sublimation paper you'd cut to this size, okay? You'd cut to that size and you were sublimating a little tiny piece of text onto that tote bag. If you thought, well, okay, it's fine, it's only that small amount, I'm just going to go like that, this could melt that polyester surface. So that's going to give it that protection. Because even if your piece of sublimation paper was much bigger than the footprint of the heat press, it's then going to scorch the paper. So whatever it makes direct contact with is going to struggle to withhold and withstand the temperatures it's going to put out. So this Teflon sheet takes all of that worry away.
Brilliant. Okay, so if you want that, it is shop. Where's my
Heat?
Heat. Oh, no.
Heat. I think it's 67.90.
66.97, and it's shop heat. Sophie? Yeah. Right, I'd like to go and do a demo with these papers, and then we'll come back and do these substrates. Is that all right? Do you need a minute to set up?
So let's go for it.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
absolutely.
Thanks, David.
Good morning to you all as well. It's wonderful to have your company. Like I say, me and Mel are going to be here for this hour, the next, and also then I'm going to be taking you back through another hour at 1 o'clock, which is really exciting. Most important part of the show, of course, having a quick sip of drink.
Right, Sharon Taylor's asking about a spray for cottons. We're working on it. We're trying to find the best one. So rather than just buying one and bringing it to you, and then in 2 weeks' time going, actually, we found a better one, and then 3 weeks later going, actually, we found the best, we take our time and we source the best one and we test them before we invest in them. So Sharon, something may well be coming soon, but also if you watch the show back from the last hour, that would work as well. I love the way you explain things, David. Your examples paint a step-by-step picture which is easy to follow.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, thank you. And sometimes it's really nice to hear, because sometimes I feel like I don't know what I've just said. And it's like, oh, I just want to hope that comes across in the clearest way. So, yeah, all good. Love that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim out a piece of my sublimation paper. Now, you'll be doing this at home, whether it's using your cropper, your dies, anything at all. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off the transfer sheet. Now, you can leave the transfer sheet on if you're going to be doing your scan and cut work. Okay, you're going to be working with your SVG cutting machines. Because the thing about this paper is, on the reverse of here, if I just peel this away, the back of it is non-stick. Okay, so that won't stick to your scan and cut mat.
Perfect.
Trust me. It won't. Because it acts like the paper that's used in your tissue tape.
Yes.
Okay, it's designed to be non-stick. So leave the transfer on here. Now, I know, Mel, you'll probably find a different formula that would work really well for this.
Go on.
But I tested a few things on the scan and cut with the transfer with these papers. I tried half cut. I had to go with that. It didn't work out for me. I might have done something wrong. But what I did is I left it on all its standard settings with the auto blade on the SDX, and I took it to -3.
Yes.
And it worked perfectly.
Yes.
Some odd bits might have gone through slightly, but I was a bit of a novice with it, a bit of an amateur, and it worked perfectly.
I think your vinyl blade.
That's, because I thought, because it's a paper top.
You can cut it normally. That won't affect it at all. But I think your vinyl blade. What I'll do is I'll do some testing with it, and then on Tuesday, when we do the scan and cut shows, I'll tell you exactly what settings you need for it. But auto, it's interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of people bought an SDX because of their auto blade.
Yes.
But the auto blade knows the thickness, but it doesn't always know the density of a product.
Yeah.
So I knew when they first brought out the SDX that instead of just having auto, they would have to have minus and positive settings, and that came as updates as we went through.
Oh, nice.
So now it's important.
Well,
and
there's
it will
two
depend
layers.
on the blade that you use, how old your blade is, etc.
All of that, I'm going to say.
So you're saying don't take the backing off and then put it on your
No,
scan and
keep
cut
the backing
mat.
on.
Yes.
Absolutely, keep the backing on your scan and cut mat.
In that case, I would say make sure your mat's nice and sticky, like you would with Mylar, because it's got a plastic backing.
Absolutely,
Okay?
and I found it stuck really well.
Yeah,
it was a lovely surface to put on.
It will.
And the scan and cut loved it. Okay, it really did, because it's a paper top.
It's good.
So it glided through it. It was great.
Brilliant.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to keep this transfer sheet because don't get rid of it. It's a great piece to have. You can just put some plastic over the top of it, stopping your hair sticking to it or anything like that, a bit of dust or glitter. But if you're going to then cut smaller individual elements or letters, you can use it for lining up, etc.
Yeah.
So just hang on to that one.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a die, and I've chosen this one.
Wow.
It's like a proper big die.
It's a die and a half, isn't it?
It is indeed. It's still got lots of bits in it. I should be using my pokey for that, but I'm just using my table.
Just whatever we've got.
Why not? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to cut it with, of course, the design facing into the bevel. Like this, you could cut it either way because we're not going to use the die cut afterwards. It's entirely up to you. There we are. I'm going to cut in like this. And then I'm going to run it through my Pro Cut. But what I'm going to do first is just put a sheet of this over the top. And this is what we use as Cut Tidy. It's our Polly Pockets. Okay, it's fabulous stuff.
It is.
But because that card is backed onto what feels like a non-stick plastic, I need to make sure I'm using that little Polly Pocket. You could try it with a metal shim, but this is a very big die. So I think it would be a little bit like, whoa, give me a minute. So it'll be like, whoa, what are you doing? Yeah. And then I'm going to run it back through as well. You can hear it when it's
You can hear the motor
up a little
change,
bit.
Can't you, in it?
Yeah,
It's a brilliant machine.
It just goes for it. In fact, I'm going to stick that there so I know I've got it somewhere. There we go. And I've got loads of dies with me. I've literally got my whole stash that I got on my desk because I thought there's loads we can do with this. Right, that is now cut into that sublimation paper perfectly. Okay, so that's cut all of that out, and that's all just going to fall out for us. Okay, so you just want to dust that off. The one I've got here, I've already done that with. Okay, so I've dusted all of the little elements out of it and just given it a gentle tap. Basically, what I did is held it over the bin and went like that, and it all just fell out because it's different to standard paper. So then what we're going to do is we're going to heat press it onto our surface. Now, I've got some tote bags here. Now, these tote bags are fabulous, okay? Well, they're technically iron whilst you're pressing them. But I'm going to show you what it looks like. So we're going to go straight onto our tote bag, okay, with our long-handled ones. And we're going to put the bow towards the top because then throughout the shows today, we're then going to add flowers, additional elements, and then a sentiment to the middle.
Brilliant.
So we've got a project to build up together. And I've also got some more that I've cut. I've got loads here. Of
course you have. You've had a best morning, haven't you?
Honestly, I've been experimenting, having fun. Now, at this point, you want to make sure that all of that, okay, is taken out of here. You want to make sure all of that fallout is. And what you probably could do, actually, is if you take this and put it on there, like that, put it back on your transfer paper. I'm just going to have a go at this because it may or may not do what I'm thinking. But if you take it away, it may... Yeah, it did. It pulled out any extra areas, so it weeded it for me. How cool was that?
Good tip, David.
It was the odd little bit that may have just tucked itself in there and thought, no, I've found a home and I want to stay. But the rest of it will come out for us. But this is really easy. But when I just did that, it weeded quite a few pieces out for us, which was a nice effect. Good. And the reason why I'm making sure any of this fallout is actually taken out is because that will print. It'll sublimate.
Yeah, you don't want it to transfer, do you?
You don't. Right, okay, so our image is going to go there, and then we use our heat-resistant tape, okay? We don't need to use our transfer for this because it's not going to serve a purpose of lining anything up. It's not going to keep anything contained. It will just keep it in place. But when you're using your heat transfer tape on top of these, you need to make sure it's not just going onto it and off it. It needs to go and cross over because this is non-stick. So it's going to obviously not stick to the tape. So we need to make sure we're creating like a little latch for it to sit in. So what I'm going to do is take the tape like this, and on either corner, I'm going to pop it down like that and that. So it's going over 2 points. If you did it just like that, there's a risk of that coming away. So make sure you're trapping it down on either side like that. Perfect. And then what we're going to do, make sure everything's falling nice and flush before we lay our Teflon on top. We've got our heat press that's now come up to 180, and it's 40 to 60 seconds moving around. I'm going onto a glass mat for this one, best surface to work onto with your sublimation process. And I'm going to grab that Teflon sheet because this is also very important. This goes directly on top like that. We've got this lined up essentially on our bag, and we're going to start pressing, okay? So we're going to take this directly to our surface. Remember, you want to hold it for about 40 seconds in each position. You can, with this, ever so slightly move it as you're doing it, because by the time that section has got to that bit, you've got about 30 seconds passing through. But I'm going very, very slowly, okay? Because remember, this mat is cold, so it's going to be fighting against it until it all warms up, okay?
And does it have to be a glass mat, or does it just need to be a firm surface?
firm surface, but I've said the thing I've been working onto the kitchen counter in there, and the kitchen counters in most are pretty much heat tolerant, especially of 180 anyway, because that's what I'm working with. But I would say a nice solid flat surface. Yeah. If your surface is solid and flat like this, but it's not quite, you may be a little bit cautious about putting heat on it, just put a cloth over it that is heat resistant. We sometimes use these tablecloths,
yeah, absolutely.
And they're fine.
But not the one that Stephanie had yesterday with the soap.
That one's now a wax mat. Basically, it's like a giant piece of greaseproof paper. That
was funny. We were all talking about it last night.
At least it'll clean out really easily. It's soap.
Well, I love the fact that she scraped it off and made a rose out of it, right?
I know, have you seen that rose?
Amazing.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's so
That's
good.
Stephanie all over, isn't it?
Oh, it is, absolutely. That was a happy mistake. I'm not quite sure she was happy about it at the time. So what I'm doing is, with the heat press, I'm just literally resting. I'm not pressing, okay? I know it's called a heat press because you're pressing it to the surface, but you're not adding pressure. So I'm literally just using almost the weight of the unit itself with my arm resting on this. So there's nothing too strenuous going on here. And then I'm just going to continue to move it around. You'll find that if you've got your heat press out for maybe a project that's going to take anywhere between 6 to 8 minutes, the temperature might drop because it's still, of course, fighting against the surface temperature. So just pull it away and you'll notice it'll go straight back up to temperature again, and you can bring it back down. All right, so we're going to move this around, and we're starting to see the colour actually seep through it ever so slightly. You can see here.
Oh, yeah.
So I can see from the angle, I just need to go a little bit firmer, just there for a few more moments. So we put this back on. So you can always do a check. That's the beauty of that tape, because it keeps it in position for you. It's like a little safety precaution.
Absolutely. And if you got the dry iron in the last hour, that will work as well, won't it? So a dry iron or a heat press, you can use either, just not steam.
Yeah, not steam. And you don't want to exceed, with your transfer tape as well, never exceed 180 degrees. No. So on iron, I believe, is a cotton setting. Translates, lower end of a cotton setting, I believe, because I tried it on the high setting of the iron and it didn't like it. Okay, no. It basically spoiled it. So I would just say to always stick within those temperature parameters of 180 important. To get a good print. And it's all that you do need. So here we go, just pressing down, holding it firmly. Now what's happening through this process, as Mel said, it's creating a gas, and there's no odour to this. I can't smell anything happening right now. And it basically, the second that heat comes through, it's pushing it into the fibres and it fuses it. It's a molecular process of fusing. And it's incredible, but this is what happens basically within factories on big machinery scale, but you've now got it as a domestic use for in your home.
Which is amazing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and if all of your dies that you've got that you're cutting out of it, or all of your SVG files are of course from here at Highlight Crafts, you can then still make and sell with it. I chose a die that's not necessarily design-led in terms of reflection, so I'm not relying on the artwork to give me the resolution of the design. I'm working with something that is clearly designed to be a silhouette, or it's going to work with anything that's a beautiful pattern. So I would always lean towards your shapes or your detailed cut dies, okay? Or even sentiment dies. I've got a couple of those to use as well.
Yeah, they'd be cute.
So I'm just going to go over here.
And it's all about taking your time. Don't rush this part. It's like the transfer papers that we had on in the last hour. You need to take your time. Take your time, do it properly, because this is now the image. Because once you've used that bow, I mean, the bow might be quite easy to line back up. Yeah. But if you're working with a bigger picture or a design piece that you've designed in Minecraft Studio, once you've taken it off, it's not that easy to line it back up. So just make sure that you're thoroughly doing this pressing process, because this is when the chemical reaction is happening, and you need to give it time for that to happen. And then it will bond to your fabric. It blows my mind, sublimation. It's a really, really clever process, isn't it?
It's super clever. Ooh. Okay, so I just need to go there.
A bit there, and that's why we put the tape on. So you can lift the corners up and you can lift underneath it. David, while you're just doing that, I'm just going to get Sam I'm just going to show you these jigsaws, because I think these are brilliant gifts. So we've got 2 hearts, and they've got a velvet finish that looks like flock. So what you can do is print off a picture. It might be of your children, grandchildren, pets, whatever it is, holiday photographs, whatever it is. And then you're going to sublimate onto the top of here and create your own jigsaws. How cool is that?
They're amazing.
I'm all about, Stephanie and I were talking about it earlier, about working on a budget this year, but hand making gifts. Because the most precious thing you can give somebody is your time. And if you're hand making something that's personalised to that person, you imagine you've just been to a wedding and you send that through the post. How lovely is that going to be?
Yeah, it's
right?
going to be amazing.
It's just fantastic.
A picture of the special day.
Yeah, so you can have 2 hearts and it's shop hard and it's $9.99, or you can get 2 of these puzzles, and these are 120 pieces and they're $12.99 for 2. This is brilliant. Imagine you go out for the day and you take a picture wherever you are, Blackpool, Alton Towers, wherever you've decided to go. You're out with the kids during the summer holidays and you take a picture. You come back home, you print that picture off, you show them, so that you do the heat bit, the sublimating bit, you show them that, and then they've got their picture on a jigsaw. I mean, there's nothing better than that, is there? They're going to be so excited. And imagine, and I know this because I've done it with Alice, you know, when you print something off that she's drawn or she's designed or whatever it is, get the kids using Micro Studio, because it's so intuitive, it's easy to use. But to be able to create your own, and you can make and sell.
Yeah.
And these have a shimmer to them. Can you see they're cut out of a pearlescent vinyl?
Yeah,
they're
they
fabulous,
look
aren't they?
gorgeous.
So you'll get that shimmer coming through because that ink is going to bond to those pieces. I think these are great gifts. Honestly, I think they're fabulous. 2 of them, $12.99. That's a cracking price. I love these.
Yeah, they're
I'm so excited
great.
for Christmas because I'm going to get little boxes. I'm going to cover them, and then I'm going to break all the picture up and then tell them they've got to make it.
Yeah, I'm going to say you need to break it up
Right,
first.
it's cool, isn't it?
Definitely.
Right, we just need to recap the car shades because we've only got 3 of these left.
Oh.
Now, these are what they call prepared for print, so you don't need to do any spraying on these. These are your car shades for the back seats of your car, your back windows. They come with the little suctions that are on there, and you're getting 2 of them for $12.99. Imagine that. You know, when you go to the theme parks, like I took Alice and Jack to Alton Towers. Gosh, I bet that's 4 years ago, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I bet it is.
Gosh,
I'll be able to tell because I have a picture on my phone. And you know, when you go on the rides and they take your picture, imagine those on here. It's so much fun, isn't it? And I love the fact that you can design your own, print it off on the correct paper, or use the pre-printed ones that we've got for you today if you haven't got a sublimation printer. What these allow you to do is sublimate without the printer. Now, I know those of you that have bought a printer will go off and do all sorts of amazing things with the 2 Red Robin stuff, your own designs, etc. But we wanted to bring you something so that everybody could have a go. And I think this is a great idea. But I love this. So you could go and buy a really inexpensive plain notebook, use one of the sprays on it, so that it's sublimatable, if you like, and then cover it with one of the papers. It's a really cool thing to have in your stash, and the fact that it cuts on your scan and cut, and the fact that it die cuts is just plus for me, because it now enables you to use what you've already got. We add 1 more product in, and away you go. It's brilliant, isn't it? Right, David, how are we doing with that bow? Are we there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely.
So what I'm going to do now, I've just got some dies out as well because then we can make our sentiments afterwards.
Oh, look at you.
So you take your Teflon sheet off, and then underneath here, look at that. Oh
now
my
look how
goodness.
much deeper the colour is now that it's been sublimated. Let me just grab that sheet. Do you know which one it was from, David?
It was the top, your top left, I believe. Your top left, sorry, that one, yeah. I think it's in there, that's the one.
Look at the difference in the colour.
Yeah, you can see, look at
From
that.
that to that.
It is so
And
crisp.
that's the thing. How amazing is that? And how beautiful. When you look at, sometimes when you look at a pattern paper, you're a bit like, oh, that's a lot. But when you die cut it or you break it down into smaller pieces, look how beautiful that is.
It's astounding.
It's
I'm absolutely
amazing,
obsessed
isn't
with
it? I know you are.
It's such a fun process.
Good,
And the fact
isn't
that
it?
it's literally on there, it doesn't rub off,
No.
it can't go anywhere.
It's not going to wash out,
No.
none of it, because it's literally in that garment. That's what that heat and polyester contact does with that ink. It bonds it to the surface. So it's not going to peel off. That does none of that. But you just have to take your time when you're ironing it. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just take your time whilst you're doing it. So what we could do now is we could go, let's have a look, grab some of this, because that one I can use with that.
Yeah, nice.
I'm just going to mix and match them all for you today. And then I'm going to, let's have a look. I'm going to take the backing off first. Here we are. So let's take the tape off the back end, save that. So we're going to hang on to that. And I've got my little baby blue.
Baby blue.
Baby blue, I know, right? It's a fabulous piece of kit for this. So I'm going to go in with my plates, and I'm just going to do these two like this. There we go. Pop these two in first, like that. Sorted.
I love that little blue, that little bit. Woo,
there we go.
Little baby blue.
Little baby blue. And then we've got our letters.
Fantastic.
So they're good to go. So we can press these all individually. And then I'm going to do one more of the M, because you could be making this for literally anybody. I'm just doing one that's really quick. And also, the word mum, you don't have to flip.
No, because it's a what? Palindrome.
Palindrome, that's the one. But the letters also as well aren't going to look strange if they're in reverse.
No.
So unless you've got like a letter E or an S or something, all you want to do is die cut into the white side, okay? So then when you literally flip it round, the letter will look reversed, but then when you flip it onto your sublimation paper, it will actually work the correct way. It's like when you mirror print, okay? So then what we'll do is we'll take our tote bag like this. Okie dokie. And then underneath here, I'm just going to pop the sentiment because we can complete this one and I've got loads more to show you as well.
Oh, exciting, because it's me and you next door, isn't it, in a few minutes' time with the SVG versions of the Creator Cake that we brought you.
Yes,
it is. Cake, yeah. And then you're coming back to do another hour of this, aren't you?
I am indeed.
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock. And then that's us done for the day in terms of shows.
Then tomorrow you've got Diane and Stephanie.
Yes.
For your 5 hours on a Saturday morning. Brand new launches, new products, very exciting. And it's always a lot of fun because we get bacon butties in, don't we, on a Saturday? And
bacon butties.
It's a lot of fun and it's, very chilled out and laid back.
It's just, it's fun.
It's what you want on a Saturday morning, right?
It's enjoyable. You can stay in your Jimmy Jams.
Oh, yes.
And watch
I'll be doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say, me too.
Yep, right.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh.
I know a lion.
Oh.
I know.
Do you know what? As well, the other week I'd been up really early every day, as I know, as we all are. And then on Sunday, Saturday night, I said to Luke, I went, "Oh, was it this weekend? The weekend before? I can't remember." And I went, "I'm going to go to the car boot on Sunday morning." He went, "David, you've been up at 6 or before every day. Why are you going to put yourself through it?" I went, because I love going to a car boot.
I know.
And I still did it, and I came back and got in bed.
Got back in bed. I know.
I came back for
set
7:30
and then you never knew. 5:30 every morning, so I can snooze twice and then get up, get ready, let the dogs out, and then by the time Stephanie comes down, we're all ready to go.
I love a snooze.
But the problem is my body clock always wakes up before the alarm.
Do you know what?
So
Mine's been doing
4:30
that.
this morning, I'm like that. Hello.
Do you know what the worst thing is when you wake up about 15 minutes before your alarm goes off and you think, should I go back? Should I just get up? But then it's 15 minutes. But then if you go to sleep, you feel even more tired when you wake up. And it's like, what the cruel thing to do.
I know, right, isn't it? I'm like, one more snooze. But tomorrow morning, I know, 4:30, I'll be like wide awake.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not at work today.
Oh, that's a strange feeling, isn't it?
I know, isn't it?
So it's not quite up to 180, but I'm going to start pressing it because I know we're pressed for time.
We are.
So I'm going to go on here.
Funny.
164, so it might start to give us a print, but we're just going to keep it pressed on there for now, okay? Because look at that, it is going to go up.
And it has a safety feature, doesn't it, that it switches itself
off. Oh yeah,
off.
it automatically cuts out 65, 66. Yeah, it's going up. There we are.
Something worse is if we're waiting for a temperature to rise.
It's like waiting for a kettle to boil.
It's like when you were a kid and you used to go on holiday and you were sat there on Christmas Day and you're like, oh, my mum and dad aren't up. It's only 4:30 in the morning. They're not up. Come on, hurry up. And you're waiting, aren't you, for that clock to tick round.
I'm thinking, though, with this, like, imagine cutting all these out for Santa sacks and things like that.
Brilliant.
Present bags, it's stockings, all that sort of stuff.
It's going to be fabulous, isn't it? And it's another string to your bow as well, isn't it? If you make to sell, this is just brilliant.
Indeed. There we go.
Love that. Yeah,
So,
and it heats up really quickly, so it's fabulous.
have a look and see
where
what
we're
we've
at.
got. Ooh, we're almost there.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Now look at it. Right, this is really interesting.
It. Yes, absolutely.
That's your paper. That there is your result.
Wow.
Look how strong that is.
I know, that's amazing.
And you have to see it. You have to see it, honestly. I mean, with some products, we say seeing isn't believing, that sort of thing. You know, wait till you get it home and you'll see how good it is. You need to see that because that is honestly amazing.
It is incredible, isn't it?
When you start working with this, you're going to absolutely love it. And the heat press actually fits over that whole word, which is very good. Just realised that. So that's just going to press that nicely for us. And then We can take it away. Oh, so just under there, because my tape's got an extra layer of protection of heat, I'm just going to pop that back. There we are. See, that's the beauty of that tape.
This is the tape, yeah, absolutely. And don't try and reuse it.
No.
You know, just, it's a bit of tape.
It's a little
you know,
bit of tape.
It's like, it's a piece of paper.
Tiny piece.
So a tiny piece of tape, sacrifice a bit more than, it's like when we do all the festivals and they're using pieces of tape to tape a die like that. And I'm like, use the tape. Put it right across, you don't want it to move. We've got 30 seconds, David, and then we're going next door.
Look at this. So now we've got our letters on here, good to go. Sublimated onto the surface. I've just taken that press off really quick, but look at that. Isn't it great?
Isn't it?
It's so good. These papers are mind-blowing. You don't need a printer for this process.
Absolutely not. Right, me and David are going through that wall, literally. Might use the door today instead of the wall.
Yeah, let's use the door.
Let's use the door. And we'll see you on the other side of it. See you in a minute.
Bye.